What's going on, America? Trent here, and I just want to come at you on an even more serious note, and give you even more of a PSA. I want you to take a look at something real quick, okay? And tell me what you think when you see it. What do you think when you see this little eagle? Oh, I just gave it away. Well, I mean, I think of an eagle. What do you think, right? An eagle. Well, and I don't really know what that eagle means or whatever. And it probably means something. And it definitely means something. Because everything means something, apparently. All these symbols. But regardless, and it's probably got some associations with the flip side, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I think more of freedom when I think of an eagle. You know what I mean? This reminds me of an eagle. What it may or may not be, or what secret symbolism may be hiding in broad daylight that we're supposed to do. We're supposed to do hieroglyphic Egyptian Sudoku to. I'm not so sure, but I think of like more of freedom. But you want to know what I think of when I see this, bro? When I see that, do you want to know what I think of? How we got hell wrong. How we got hell wrong. Our traditional understanding of hell wrong. Because let me tell you something, and this is big. We define traditional view of hell has misdefined God's character in a big way. There are plenty of spots where if the proper hermeneutics are not done, you might think that the afterlife it preaches, and like we have, that we die for that the ones who don't believe or to suffer consciously forever and ever 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 and ever, and then it never end consciously, and then never and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever, right? But here's the thing: sinlessness, ungodliness, that ungodliness talked about in Romans 1, right? The God's wrath being poured out on everything that is ungodly, right? God's wrath, by its definition, cannot be evil. You may go to the Old Testament and you may see an incredible display of God's wrath, but it's not evil. It's because it is evil that it's being poured out against, okay? Wrath is a direct response to ungodliness and unrighteousness. Yeah, it's a direct response. And so you might even misdefine some of the nature of the God of the old character and think that the forgiveness doesn't show up until the New Testament at the cross. But let me tell you something. From Genesis to Malachi, let me tell you something. You see a God whose mercy just consistently and continues to prevail over his wrath. There's God's mercy extending time and time again before the cross even comes, to the point where if you were to read the Old Testament in 30 days, trust me, you would puke Israel's disobedience. You would puke it and be scared to even read it again a little bit, just because it's that much unrighteousness and ungodliness that his wrath is being poured out against. But little digression to say this, that traditional viewpoint of hell, tell me why. Let me tell you something. With all due respect to the fact that of what our mission here is, and the understanding of what Hellfire Club and Azkabanian celestial matrix of institutions that deal less with destruction and deconstruction into reconstruction. But let me tell you something. But regardless of any of that, and without laying down the whole Warden Manual blueprint, here's what I'm going to tell you. Even taking scripture at its contextual understanding and thinking that ungodliness, because let me tell you something. This is more like what hell, contextual hell is. This, that. Now watch. Now, oh God, you know what? But we're not done. We're having some problems here, but let me tell you something. And that's what watch.
Watch. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. All that ungodliness, all that unrighteousness. It's got to go somewhere, bro. It's got to go somewhere because God is love. God is love, and he is not, right? So eventually, depending upon the severity of systems, of your of decisions you made without your disbelief, right? Well, then eventually, what we understand about the contextual understanding of hell is that eventually it's going to be consumed because it doesn't deserve to exist forever and ever and ever until what? Until what? I can't even, and you know what I can't see? And maybe you feel some type of way. Maybe, oh, no. Because that's how important it is. Because did you see what was on that? Not the eagle. Did you see that? Did you see that shape we learned about in geometry? They didn't tell anything that they didn't tell us about in history. Did you see that? Did you see it? Hold on. We're still not done. We're still not done. Hold on. Get this last bit of it. Let me get this last bit of it because just to prove a point. Hold on. It's the last bit of it right here. Until what? Until it's out of my sight. Talk about misdefining God's character. Like what? Like what? That even his righteousness. But let me tell you something. The only thing that deserves to exist consciously anywhere is righteous life that admitted it was a sinner and chose Jesus in response to the understanding that the reality of divine and special revelation. Because let me tell you something, right? And like I say, maybe you feel some type of way because you don't read the scriptures, believe the scriptures, don't know contextual, or you thought that the Bible preached that, or you saw eternal, you saw eternal fire and forever and ever, and you didn't do proper hermeneutics, and a lot of us didn't, and then a lot of good teachers preached whatever. But the thing is, yeah, no, not forever, anywhere. But thank God for Neo, and thank God that the God who consistently breaks veils somehow keeps finding a way to break them and find a way for his mercy to prevail over his wrath, which again really doesn't surprise me. You know what I mean? Doesn't really surprise me. But let's just say this: if we've been taught in a big way to hate the sin and love the sinner, yeah, if we've been taught to hate the sin and love the sinner, well, you know what that means? And in place of that understanding of hellfire, right? The triangle, the eyeball, the G, the rulers, the stone, anything, Stonehenge, alien pyramid, Anunnaki, anything. Because let me tell you something. You think when it's all said and done, and the truth comes to light about what we haven't been told, and the dirty little secrets that's been swept under the rug that are actually, as it turns out, do your research, but oh my God, it's worse than it's probably worse than we thought in big ways. But I'll just say, no, you think we're gonna gather all that stuff and put it in a room, even in acid, so we can watch it? No, we're gonna burn every trace of it. We're gonna smash every triangular, geometric, secret version of in between the lines we represent God by spreading chaos, confusion, corruption, manipulation, and deception. And we think we understand what a capital G is. It's to the point where we're even gonna have to do something to the capital G, because the triangle is in geometry. So we're trying to do something. Maybe we draw them with dotted lines all the time or something. I don't know. But and I can't even see a capital G and not just no. I'm not gonna go put them in a room even watch them lose their way. To be honest, I'd like to see them just go and then every trace of it just be gone. Anything and everything, right? And that's the basic understanding, right? So it is. So I do. So the basic understanding of like Harry Potter and being able to go into the woods and absorb Voldemort's bolt. What turns out in the real world, it was all just a little bit different. And when Harry died, he didn't see Dumbledore. It was just more tests and more chaos and more madness and more people breaking the ultimate law. Not loving God and not loving their neighbor and justifying or whatever for whichever reason for however long triangulated triune trickernometry that was happening at all seasons that were not Halloween or October. Well, guess what? Nah. Box potatoes is what all that is. Box potatoes. Until it is consumed and gone, and then we'll damn the processes and processes, and we'll save every sinner along in the process. You better believe it. We'll save every sinner in the process. Eventually. But like I said, if you've ever deleted something in your recycling bin, and like I said, it may not have been gone, but it did become a lot harder to retrieve because like being deconstructed and then reconstructed through whatever millennia of Azkabanian celestial intertwinal systems of bar between, can you let me out? I'm not sure how we go around about, I mean, at the end of the day, right? Like go lock yourself in a big bathroom with everything you want for 48 hours and tell me how you like it. Tell me what you could learn. Tell me what you could learn. If you needed to learn something too, if you really needed to just, man. And then imagine there's just one flap, and then outside is everything you ever denied that you were given such an easy opportunity to accept. Wow. Yeah, so it turns out Stranger Things and the Hellfire Club may have been on to, who knows? I don't know. And like I said, look, dude, I got so much schizophrenia, bro, that I could probably like fizzle a satellite, you know what I mean? Like from here, dude, I could be like, so look, I'm not saying trust any of what I'm telling you other than like everything I'm telling you definitely about Jesus. You can trust all of that, right? You would definitely need to trust all of that, and anything else you may think is crazy on this channel or something that sounds like something you never heard about or you got professionally paid or threatened to not hear about what you heard about and then speak about what you speak about, but they talk passively. They come after me. By myself, lost that half of me. Got that has to be someone else. Don't feel bad for me. And yeah, no, there's definitely someone else. There's definitely other people. Turns out human trafficking, the stuff Tim Tebow's talking about, there's all kind of other like slavery human traffic that's not being talked about. As bad as what Tim Tebow is talking about, yes, as it turns out. And it turns out what's been done for poetic and theatrical injustice, let's just say Drake wasn't in the middle verse of this, right? With respect to how great Kendrick's first and last verse are, but like, not the full song, it wasn't the full story. Weren't told everything like we were always supposed to be told, I guess because the system didn't think that we could handle it, that the system isn't the people, by the people, for the people, we the people, that very system, that anybody in Eiffel Tower, anybody in an Agent Tie is the people. And to be honest, if you want to know who's to blame for nobody speaking up, it's we the people. And I say that, me as one. But guess what? Silence is what I'm silencing. Violence is not my title. When I will win when it's time to win. So we the people are to blame. All of us. For all this corruption and deception that you just keep timelining through and you don't even see. God bless.